Hello and welcome to this video. In a recent video that I made on the topic of crafting and how to craft your own gear and stuff like that, I gave the tip that a loot filter is super important for that process. I got some questions and remarks on that, basically saying, okay, but how do we make a good loot filter? It's something that new players definitely struggle with because it is fairly complex. Like, how do you know, first off, what to do? How do you make a filter? And then what do you want to show or hide? So in this video, I want to discuss that. I want to show you what I do personally. It will be very much SSF, solo self-found focused. So I might miss some nuances for trade or some things that you want to do on trade, but I just don't have that much knowledge on that topic. I'm very SSF focused. So in this video, I want to go over like how do you make a campaign filter, how do you make an early mapping filter, and how do you make an end game filter. I want to cover all of that. So it will probably be a long video, but we'll see by the end. You can see I am on the website called Filterblade. Now, Filterblade is not affiliated with GGG. It is a tool made by another player, a member of the community called Neversink. Now, Neversink is an absolute goat of the community. He's been maintaining this tool for years. He's been improving on it. He maintains it because every league there's new changes. Now also for PoE2 he's been doing it. So with that in mind, I really want to say I normally disable ad block on this website. The ads were very annoying for the video, so I disabled them now. But when you come to this website, consider leaving them on just to help out that little bit that it does. He definitely earns it. He really just does it for the love of the game, love of the community. So helping him out in like that little way, highly recommended. So the basics of Filterblade. You'll see on this screen, I have two filters that I currently own. One is a Druid campaign filter, one is a Druid map filter. Now I'm not going to look at these specifically during the video, but I will give examples of how I made these. And then I will also be making an endgame filter, going over the thoughts of what I'm really adjusting in detail in that endgame filter. On the screen, when you get here, you're going to want to click Create New Filter. Now, when you get here, especially if you're new, there's a bunch of stuff here. It might look a bit overwhelming, and honestly, it is, but don't worry about it. We're going to go over everything, and by the end of this video, you're fine. Up here, there are three buttons that we care about: Overview, Customize, and Simulate. I will be going over those, so don't worry about it. In Overview, you have Neversink Softcore and Neversink Stable up here. Neversink Softcore, it says it updates every 4 hours based on an API for the economy. It does some minor changes depending on price shifts of things. Usually you don't really care about that, but it is a bit safer to go with Neversink Stable so you don't get any unexpected results. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you can definitely read. There is a strictness slider up here. Basically, this is just a preset. It has a little bit of a description of what it does as you slide it higher up, but it is a good moment to showcase what Simulate does. If you go to Simulate, there's a loot generator, and you can kind of click Generate Loot or Generate Valuable Loot here. When you click this button, it will actually hide things that it's hiding. But this will just simulate. It will show you what your filter is showing or hiding. As you can see here, currently the default semi-strict filter shows nearly everything. It is super overwhelming and honestly not good. You will miss items that you care about. You will not see ground effects because there's so much stuff on your screen. But if you go to here and you go all the way up to like uber strict, well, at this point you're not seeing anything. So you're missing all of the items that you care about. Never do that. Never go that far. Where you really want to be with the way how I create filters is semi-strict, and you want to use the Customize tab to customize what you see. Now, there are a lot of different things here that you can click and open, and there will be so much information. Don't worry about it. Most things, most players will never really have to click on or care about. We'll be looking at show and hide rules for the mapping filter, but with all of this shown, let's get into a campaign filter. First thing you're going to want to do is create a campaign filter. Now for this, we're going to click Neversink Stable, Semi-Strict, and then there is this lovely button here, which is Auto Adjust for Build. It's a relatively new feature, but basically you can click here. You're going to want to click on Campaign, which will affect campaign areas only. And you'll probably want to click on your class And for me, in my case, and for all the examples I'll be using my own character that I've been playing, which is a druid. And you'll see everything that's like highlighted blue will be items that this preset is like, okay, you're playing a druid, you probably want these items. This isn't always accurate. For example, if you're playing a witch that's gonna play a bow build, like you're gonna want to adjust this to be a bow build and all of that stuff. In my case, yes, I am playing a druid, but I'm playing a very caster-focused druid. So I don't really care about strength armor, which is all indicated like red is strength, green is dex, blue is int, and the colors that match are hybrid. I don't care about strength armor, and I really want focus and want also to be shown. So this filter is done for me for the campaign. It will show all the items that I care about. It will also show rares for me to vendor for all the other types. Anything else, it will hide. You click apply. And as I said, you're done. You can go to customize and you can see what it did in here. Don't worry about that too much. Just go to export, give it a name. And then you're going to click on save and sync. At this point, you're done. The filter is on your account. If you go back to my filters, it's here. You can always load it in and check it out, change stuff. But yeah, it is now on your account. I'm going to delete this and you will see this pop up that says that you can't delete a filter from your actual PoE profile where it also added. Not super important for you to worry about. You can figure that out later, how to delete that there. Not important at all. Now, for a more mapping focused filter is where it gets a bit more interesting. So again, we're going to click new filter. Now, keep in mind, I am making this filter for a solo self-found point of view. So what I want is this filter. I want it to show me all the bases that I care about, and I want to hide everything that I don't care about. To accomplish this, we click stable, semi-strict, nothing else on the overview page. We can click on customize, and we are going to scroll down just a little bit. And in the Endgame rares and crafting section, we will click on add custom show or hide rules. You can use this one as well, the one above it. This one, in my opinion, is easier. So let's go over that. These two are the ones that we're really interested in. We'll go one by one. Hide rares by armor type. Now, you probably want to give this a name. Hide by type. And what you want to do with this filter specifically is you're going to want to hide all of the armor that you're not interested in. Don't get confused. Everything that you click and everything that is checked here is everything that you want to hide. So with this, everything is hidden. You're not seeing a single item. For my build, I am very energy shield focused. I'm a caster. So I'm going to make sure energy shield is not ticked. I'm going to make sure focus is not ticked. And for me, this is done. If you only want armor, you would do something like this, probably. If you want evasion, you would do something like this. Really just look at what you want and make sure that it is not ticked. Everything else will be hidden. In this case, energy shield and focuses will not be hidden. That's armor done. Just to make sure, normal, magic, and rare ticked on here means that all rarities are affected by this rule. For example, you do this, normal and magic items are not affected by this rule, but just tick all of this on. The hide rares by item slot is for hide by slot, give it a name. This will use for weapons. Again, also click normal magic, click on the select class, and you're gonna want to check everything that you do not want to see. In my case, I want caster weapons, which means that everything that is not a caster weapon, and the scepter, I will hide. Do not hide armor, and do not hide jewelry. That will really mess up. Just only click the weapons and shields that you do not want to see in this rule. And at this point, we're done. We can go to simulate, we can click generate loot, and we can see it is hiding a lot, but that's good. And because we see it's showing energy shield bases, it's hiding armor bases, it's showing a focus, but it's hiding a quarterstaff. You can kind of use this to check. You can also use the item builder to create items. And I'm actually going to use this to show you one important thing. if we go to Craft of Exile, I explained what Craft of Exile is and how to use it in my other video, the one about crafting. So if you're unsure, be sure to check it out. I'm going to use Grim Gloves as an example. Now, Grim Gloves are a level 65 base, which means that as soon as you enter the campaign, they can start dropping, so you want to make sure that they're visible. However, I personally, during the campaign, all the way up to level like tier 16 maps, when I'm progressing pretty quickly, I want to keep these visible. You're gonna see, if I go to Filterblade and I create armor, gloves, and we click on Grim Gloves, which I will find, there we are. You will see they are visible in area level 69, 70, 65, but as soon as they hit 71, they will be hidden. Now, I don't want this. Maybe for you, that's fine. You kind of have to decide that for yourself. For me, early on SSF, I just want to show all of the bases that I can drop in maps for the entire time, until I really go to a much stricter filter. So why does this happen? When we go back to Customize, and we go to Weapons and Armors down here, you will see that all of the gear, and you can click on other types as well, all of the gear has been given a tier. Rank A, B, C, D, or untiered. Now, these make a lot of sense. You can see that for gloves, Siren Scale gloves are A tier. That's because they're the highest base of gloves. They have the highest energy shields. They are the gloves that, in the end, you care the most about. Grim gloves are set as C tier. You can see that they're yellow. They're over here. When we go click on normal bases plus no tier magics, you'll see that rank C bases have a rule here where they are shown from area level 65 to 70. So this means that there's a rule that says, okay, rank C bases, which is Grim Gloves, after level 70, we don't care about them. So in my case, I actually do care about it. I disagree with the rule that is set here, so I'm going to change it. I'm just going to drag this slider all the way up. Doesn't really matter. Like, you can stop at 85. Doesn't matter. And if you go to simulate now, you'll see that no matter what area level I go to, they are shown. Now, obviously, in my much stricter version, I would not want this. But in the early to mid game, like, yeah, show me all the bases. I'll pick them up, I'll craft on them, I'll YOLO them. Same goes for rank B bases, like the Vol gloves, the Opulent gloves. I want to see those longer than just area level 75, which is like tier 11 maps. Keep showing them to me. Like, I will not be dropping enough of these adherent cuffs to craft reliably on. I need these bases early on to craft on for my like mid-game, early to mid-game gear. I need them, so show me them. So just drag those up and you will not come across this issue. For the most part, when it comes to like the early to mid-game-ish filter, I'm done. I will export this, like my mid-game filter, or my maps filter, whatever you want to call it. You can call it blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. For me, this is done for this point of the game. As I said, I'm going to create a fully endgame filter for my current character that I'm playing. I'll be changing a lot more details like currencies and stuff that I care about. So I will talk over my logic of what I'm hiding and showing, and hopefully that will give you some insight on how you might want to take on your filter, maybe what you want to do with your filter. So we go create new filter. I'm going to go over these steps pretty quick because we just shown them. I'm going to hide rares by item type, and I want to hide everything except this. That's the same as I did before. I want to hide rares by item slot, which is also the same as I did in the other version. This is basically just hiding everything that I do not care about. Did I click rarity here as well? Yes, I did. So I'm showing energy shield and focuses, and for weapons, I'm showing wands and focuses as well. Now, if you still want to craft on staffs, leave staffs on. Me personally, I have a really good staff. I only really care about wands at this point. I'm going to hide staffs. Just really want to make that clear. If you're like gonna follow my filter, this is personalized to me. You have to personalize it to you. Next up, for weapons and armors, For me, for the stage I am at, I do not care about rank C bases or rank B bases. Now, there is one very important thing that happened when I clicked this. If we go to simulate and I go, as I just said, I really care about, oh, I probably want caster weapons. I really care about wands, and I really care about bone wands. But you see, no matter what item level, no matter what area level, bone wands are hidden. I have a physical build. Bone wands can roll physical modifiers for my spell build. And this is because if we go to wands, Neversink or this filter or whatever, this preset, what you want to call it, has decided that bone wands are a C tier base. This is one of those things where Filterblade makes very generic filters that are good for most people in most scenarios. But if you're SSF and you're really focused on certain things, you really want to make sure you're showing what you want to see. So if I'm only showing rank A bases, that means I have to decide what rank A is for me. For me, this will look something like this. All of these wands are viable wands for me to craft on. They can all roll +2 physical spell gems, with the exception of the withered wand. All of these are potential viable weapon upgrades. So I'm going to leave them in. And yeah, that's where I'm done now. For 82 plus, which are like the giga crafting bases, I don't mind rank B being on. That's fine for me for now. All of this shouldn't really matter because of the other filters we have set up. For rings, amulets, and belts, for the most part here, I am fine with just showing everything still. I do think I'm gonna hide accuracy rating, iron rings, lazuli rings, unset. That's all fine. I would be fine if those are good. So we make sure that we show B and up. And with this setup, I will only show rings that are B or higher. That's just like none of these rings I'll ever really be interested in. Preferably, I always get an amethyst ring, probably, because Chaos Res is nice. But this will just hide out jewelry that I don't care about. Belts and amulets, I don't care about enough about the base type. That can just be whatever. So I'll even add that back to rank B, so that's visible. For belts as well, I don't really mind what these bases are. I'm fine with just showing all of this. Unless I'm forgetting something, that is basically all of the gear rules that I have in mind. If we go to simulate, you can kind of click a few times and see here. Just go through it. If you at any point you see an item that you're like, huh, why is that weird? This one is highlighted because it's a chance base, I'm pretty sure, for example. I don't really care about that, but that's fine. I'm not too bothered about removing that. I should probably also put this on a higher item level. But kind of click it through. Kind of make sure that you're not seeing anything in here that you would want to see. Like if you care about tier 5 items, you probably want to make sure that you have a rule that shows that. Actually, I don't if they're not my base type for now. Click it a few times. If it's fine, it's fine. If you see stuff drop in game, you can always come back and customize it. There is one thing that I do want to show, and that is currencies. If I go to like very low level maps, at some point here, I would assume I'm going to show like a transmute or something. Well, it's not dropping. Whatever. If we go to customize currency up here, at this point of what I'm playing, this rule, which has like normal transmutes, it has orb of augmentation in it. I don't care about these. If they drop, I don't need to see them. I will hide it. In E tier, there is a lesser jeweler's orb. I have like 100 of these. I don't really care. I can hide it. In D tier, just going over this, most of this I'm fine with. I don't mind if any of this drops. I'll pick it up. Whetstones, however, I'm playing a caster build. Don't care. Just hide it. Why not? I'm not going to use them. If I'm going to play a martial build or weapon build, I can always come back and add this, or I'll probably just make a new filter for that character. And anything above here, you know, I'll just leave in. So yeah, let me think if there's anything else I want to change. So there is actually one rule that I want to add to the hide by armor type. You can go here and add a condition. In my case, I still want to see quality gear, so I can get currency to make my own gear that I'm crafting superior. I don't have too many of those. So I'm going to put like a minimum quality of 10 here, which will make sure if we go to simulate that if I have an item that I normally wouldn't see, if it's below 10, it doesn't show up. Above 10, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll salvage that and I'll get the currency for it. I don't care about sockets, but the quality is a nice to have on SSF in particular. At this point, if I go to simulate, I can go to a relatively high zone and, you know, this is like generating valuable loot and there's not that much visible. If I really care, I could go in and I could hide like gold. You can make it so gold drops at less stacks. So you can see gold pile small, whatever their limit is. So medium is 650. Let's hide gold stack small. Like we don't really care. You can see the little gold is hidden. You got so much gold, don't really care to see it. You just run over it and pick it up anyway. Just because the loot filter hides something doesn't mean it's not there anymore. At this point, I am pretty much done with my loot filter. So we go export to PoE. We give this an Endgame Druid strict name, something like that. We sync it to our profile. You get a few warnings on that screen over there. Just double checking like, are you sure that these items should be hidden? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. There's also a nice about us where you can see links to them, which is very nice. And yeah, I think that kind of concludes the video on filters. It's really hard to create a guide on how do you make filters because it is so personal, especially on SSF. You are probably in a different stage of the game than me. You might be like, oh, I want to hide more or I want to hide less than I've done in some of these examples. But that's something that you really have to decide on your own. So I hope this was interesting. I hope this gives some insight in how to create your own filter. Yeah, I think that's me done. Thank you for watching. Hope it was interesting. If you have any questions, if I miss anything, or if you have any tips that I maybe missed, let me know in the comments. As I said in the other video, I'm fragile, so be nice about it. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Let me know how you liked it. Goodbye.